Disturbing eyewitness stories. According to Reddit, number 21. When I was a kid, probably around 10 years old, I lived in a very seedy apartment complex in San Bernardino. One evening, I witnessed this dude get shot up by the mailboxes. That was scary. On another occasion, some kids who stole my bike threw a giant boulder through our window as we were watching TV. That was probably the scariest thing that happened to me directly. They did it as revenge, following me directly, or directing the cops to the bike, and having them retrieve it. I don't even know where to begin with this. Forgive me for taking a while to get this up and running. The problem was that a large number of these, let's call them entries, were deleted, which was pretty shocking to say the least. Let me turn myself up. Let me turn the music a bit down. Number 20 on this list. Me, a 25-year-old tram driver, once almost hit a group of teenagers who ignored the warning signs. Caused me to hit the emergency brakes and injure 4 of the passengers in my tram, who fell to the floor due to the sudden stop of the tram. 3 times you wrote tram. This is a bus for people in America. Ugh. Also, I was traumatized for 2 weeks and needed to take off work to go to therapy. It's funny. I can't help but interject that some of us are so, unfortunately, aware of the world and how, slapstick people slipping out of existence can be as it pertains to life and death. The idea that, we'd ever get sick leave or therapy, for the trauma of somebody dying close to us is almost about as amusing as the plight of a normal to like an executive, In the same way that some people hear about lockdowns and everybody getting the coof and think about, man, this is going to boost my sales of this thing that people are going to be benefiting from because they have to stay home. So, it's kind of the same way that some people look at sick time for somebody dying. They don't care. But hey, if they can benefit from it, shit. The entry goes on. I swear, in that moment I saw these kids, I just hit the brakes, closed my eyes, and prayed that I didn't feel an impact. That was by far the scariest thing in my life so far. It's always funny. We talk about when people kind of choose to end their lives and involve poor people on a train and the conductor in their nonsense. It's like, fuck you, man. Straight up. I don't like it. I don't like that you need to traumatize a conductor. You need to risk a pileup or a derailment on your bullshit. You're just a little person flinging at a train. It's not necessarily going to cause any kind of incident, but based on the reaction of the person driving, you could be in a lot of trouble. Okay, so here's one of the deleted posts that are not going to play nice with me. I know it, man. They never do. Yeah. They never do, and I doubt I can glean what the hell it was from the response. The response reads, he wasn't terrified that you weren't dead. He was terrified that literally any second you could be dead in a blink. Any movement at all could kill you. He also probably thought for a moment about the amazing journal article that he'd write if you lived. I wonder if this person was near an animal of some sort. That's what I can guess from this. Because if they were trapped in some sort of vehicle, someone else says, I shadowed in a hospital where something similar occurred, except the guy had a broken neck. Apparently, the guy had shattered several vertebrae in his neck and walked into the ER under his own power, complaining of slight neck pain, and was only there because his wife forced him. The nurse takes him to get x-rays, and you hear a call put, and people are sprinting to the room. I get ushered out of the ER and sent home after this. The next day, a nurse tells me that the x-rayed guy... This is much cooler than what they mean. The x-rated guy... No, sorry, that's what they wrote, but it's x-rayed guy didn't understand how he wasn't dead, much less walked in under his own power. Apparently, the nurse doing the x-rays freaked out when she had seen that the guy, was one wrong move away from being dead. Okay. So this could have been a life-altering injury. Maybe they maybe they walked in with a literal knife in their neck or something like that. And if they took it out, they'd kill him, so they had to, ooh. Number 18. I was living in Naples, Italy. Got off a train to see someone shoot a man a few feet away from me. I'll never forget the woman who was with them screaming. Yeah, if you've ever been on deck for somebody getting hit by hired men, it is disgusting. It is disgusting. You realize how hilariously sloppy it can be and still get the job done. It's not a movie. There's no precision. They don't need to be accurate. They just run in and plan until they get the required result. So sloppy that they're most likely going to get caught too, But whoever paid, they got their money's worth. Oh boy. O-Town Production says, as a nurse, we don't do x-rays. Linda says, but the average Joe doesn't know there's a difference between nurses and techs. Average Joe is in the douche that probably writes this fiction. But, it's similar enough to real stuff that happens. So, here we go. Number 17. This is going to be graphic, so there's a warning, apparently. My stepdad committed bing bong right next to his plow truck while my mom watched. I wasn't there at the time. Sounded kind of weird. I wasn't there at the time, but immediately after it happened, my mom called me in an absolute state. We can assume she might have been hysterical. By the time I arrived, the police had already taken the body, but the windshield and front corner panel were completely covered in his brain and blood. My mom rode to the hospital, having a panic attack, and I stayed to clean up. I drove his pickup into town, brought it into the car wash that I had been to dozens of times over, and after delivering my now dead stepdad's truck back to my mom and pushing the blood trail in the snow up into a mound, I rode to the hospital in my car to see how my mom was. She was pretty loopy. They gave her something, and I remember feeling comforted by that, hoping that she would maybe forget part of the trauma that she had just witnessed. This is so dangerous because the reason I'm reading so poorly, I'm fighting thoughts in my head about leaving a parent alone after they lost their loved one. That's their husband that they lost. And Dia, let me say something, man. Everybody's different and we live our different lives.
Of course.
But there are a lot of ways to end your own life, and in front of your woman outside is not the way to go. That sounds like something that was escalating. That sounded like an argument that got out of control. He could have done this alone. He could have done this in the woods. Anybody who's really struggling has thought of a million ways to get it done. In front of your wife or woman outside? I don't know.
Do you think it was done on purpose in a pretty grotesque way?
Simp for Rukia says, Kyle, I'm assuming with the thumbnail you chose that you know or at least have heard of Perfect Blue. Perfect Blue is one of my favorite movies. It is not top 3 or top 2. It's my favorite anime movie. It's probably tied with The Thing. I think it's a technical masterpiece and nobody will ever be able to emulate it. Perfect Blue is the type of movie that you'll always be able to sit down, directors and writers and Hollywood executives and literally, and this is the biggest praise that you can get from anybody who, you know, works and does work in an industry. They'll want to steal it. They'll want to repackage it. They'll want to redo it. They'll want to remake it. They want to take this thing and go, this is, you made this, I made this. That's what they want. And that's the best. Perfect Blue is a gem, and if you haven't seen it, I recommend it. Sorry, the reason I interrupted was because I guess I was exploring the danger to me of leaving the mother alone. Yes, this shit needs to get cleaned up. You know what I mean? Maybe it's a good time to have siblings or even friends. Friends that I guess are ride or die enough to clean some brain matter up off a car. Maybe just drive to the you know, car wash and I'll do the rest. But yeah, no, I think that's a dangerous situation, is leaving the mom alone in this time. I hope that there were other siblings. I stayed a while, but eventually I decided to head out, figuring that I'd stop at my mom's one last time to make sure that I didn't miss anything. I really didn't want her to have to come home to any more than she had to. My inspection of the immediate area looked good, with the exception of some weird-looking thing on the side of the house. The side of the house he had shot himself in front of had a fenced area for my mom's pups. And the mystery object was directly above a large homemade doghouse. I walked around the house, entered the side yard, climbed up onto the doghouse, and pulled the mystery white blob off of the side. Had the iris been facing away from the wall, I would have immediately known that it was his eyeball, but I didn't. I grabbed it and spun it in my hand before the blue iris looked into mine. My heart sank. I don't know quite how to explain the feeling, but it made me physically ill. My guess is that the concussion blast from the bullet blew out his eyes at a high speed. I pitched his frozen eyeball out into the field, got back in my car, and drove home to get drunk. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've seen some shit in your life, if you've been through some shit in your life, if you know someone in a very close and intimate capacity where they confide in you and they have seen some shit, the saddest part is that the only thing that's going to numb that shit is substances. Substances that this country is really trying to convince everybody are the most evil things in the world, unless it's alcohol, baby. Unless Big Pharma paid that money to put that shit out there for people and you give them the money. But as soon as it's wartime, you know what? You as a human function better with these drugs. So now it is okay to use all of these drugs now that you're going to fight and die. Try not to make too big a mess out there. And don't fuck up the equipment on your way down, you dumb bitch. What a fucking country. Look at this. He edited the post so that he doesn't even... Dang, your mom's a fighter, says a response. I'm glad she got another chance. So we can assess that whatever it was, nothing's gonna work. Oh my god. One of the 3 fucking paths worked. This is like the Rinnegan, you know? The Byakugan and the Sharingan both failed me, but this one, I was right to dig it up. It took me a little bit of time before the stream, but I actually enabled this and it worked. Number 16. When I was 15 years old, my mom suddenly ended up in the hospital. Why? Why are you reading like that? Long story short, she needed immediate heart valve surgery or she was going to die. I will never forget saying goodbye to her and holding her for what felt like seconds and decades, and then watching my little brother hug her goodbye too. He didn't understand. We had just told him that he was adopted 2 weeks prior, and all he knew was the only person that had ever been his mom was about to die. My family all hugged her and waited in the waiting room. 8 hours later, and the ER came out and said she flatlined 3 times, but she lived. She was told then that she had 6 months to live and was diagnosed with a rare genetic disease that I was then diagnosed with following. That was 9 years ago. No matter what happens in the future, I will thank God, the heavens, or whoever is responsible for giving me the extra time with my mom. She's still going today. And very well. But that was rough. Special shout out to all of you listening, whether you're listening right now or after the fact, because this new COVID, I don't want to even pretend that it's the reason it's spreading so thoroughly. You probably definitely know somebody with it. It seems like we all are getting a bunch of people coming at us saying that they have it. And who knows, maybe even we have it right now, because the truth of the matter is we're rarely ever doing so well that we just jump out of bed and feel anything other than exhausted. But is there a but? There has to be, man. There has to be a glass half full here. But we can make it. I don't know. It sucks. This all fucking sucks, bro. I don't think that it's so much stronger, so much more contagious. I think people are done. They're tired of exercising restraint. They're tired of doing what they're supposed to do. They're tired of being selfless. Most people were being selfish before. I think closer to all people are being selfish now. And what's funny is Dia keeps forwarding me these stories about people in the industry, people in the food industry who literally have their employees going, I have tested positive for COVID. And they'll go, come in anyway and just wear a mask. You're working with food and your boss is saying this. Now, the reason that it's poetic to me, the reason it's profound, is because if they would do it for this, fuck a flu or a cold or a sickness or any of that, of course they would tell their employees to come in. If they tell them with a life-threatening condition to just come in, because they can't hurt their bottom line. It really makes me kind of sick just thinking about it. Jesus Christ. I apologize. Number 15. In late May 2013, I was going to visit my aunt and uncle who lived in Moore, Oklahoma. I got there around the 18th. 2 days later, a tornado warning is sent out. We saw the clouds get darker as time went on, and then I saw a blockage of cloud touch the ground. I watched as the thing grew and came towards town, with the sirens blaring all around. It was simultaneously the most horrifying yet beautiful thing that I had seen, and still remains one of the most horrifying and beautiful things I've ever seen in my entire life. I stood there for about a minute before I got pulled away and brought down to the storm cellar. When we came back up, all that was left was foundation. Damn, baby. O-Town Production said, try being in healthcare and being positive. One of the things as a black man is difficult to do is try to stay reasonable and logical and rational as it pertains to police and how the majority of them, of course, are abusing their authority and just pieces of shit. But the recognition is there that I don't think any cop can do what they do and stay, good. And what is bad? What makes a person a bad man? I don't know, man. Throw them in a situation where their life's in danger enough times to where they got to make split-second decisions on whether or not they're going to kill or be killed. Put them in situations where they see the worst of people, not on a daily basis, but almost on an hourly basis. It's not like I don't get it. What they going out there and they're seeing, it's the darkest parts of humanity. It's evil. And it's almost in the moment seemingly reasonable to be embraced by that evil and become one with it, because if not, it'll consume your stupid ass. You can't go in there green. You can't, it's weird. And sometimes the smartest thing to do is to pretend, is to blend. It's weird. It's dangerous. And it changes people. So to go back to the people who are working, in these medical scenarios, I don't think anything is more cruel than knowing that a lot of people right now absolutely don't give a shit. And in fact, almost actively don't believe the things that they need to do to mitigate the illness that they have and mitigate the spread of that illness to other people. And I like to think of it like this. A lot of dentists would take their own lives, and I have nothing to back this up. It's just a personal belief. I like to think that when dentists get into people's teeth after they've been lying about, what they do in the way of flossing and brushing, and they just see this fucking disaster of a mouth, Whatever reality TV show where you watch some fat motherfucker or watch some fucking hoarder that can't clean their house, multiply that times 1,000,000 to a dentist who knows what teeth are supposed to look like and what good, well-maintained teeth do appear as, and then they get into the mouths of people who quite frankly don't care and treat you the same way that some little bastard kids would treat a janitor or custodian in a motherfucking school. They're servants. You just throw your shit down and they're supposed to clean it up. It's your fucking job, right? Clean my teeth, bitch. Now, the medical people are all dentists, and they're dealing with these filthy humans that come rolling in there with these horror stories about parties they went to and the planes they just jumped off of when they knew they were positive. But it's still getting up their ass, and they're just trying to get over this now because it's annoying and they have things to do. Not wearing a mask, bro. Why? I don't think I could stay sane. I don't think I could exercise restraint in the midst of that. People who know better but don't. It's not like they're so foolish that they can't understand. They're well aware. But they still make the choice to fuck other people over because fuck anybody that ain't them. They're the main character. Number 14 on this list. Healthcare provider here. Oh my god, the real horror is setting in real. Oh boy. I was in my second year of school. Was on clinical rounds for the summer. Next to last day, I had a visitor who was a cancer patient who wanted to leave against medical advice. They wanted to go home and see their cats again and die in peace. No problem, homie. I literally want you to go see your cat. Continued rounds until we heard a code called, Rush back to find the guy's tumor in his lungs had ruptured, and he was literally spewing blood on his bed. Well, he went unresponsive, and I watched them do like 10 minutes of CPR before they called it. Definitely had never watched someone die before like that.
That's sad.
It's a story of all of our lives. We're only here on borrowed time. And when we die, that world will keep on spinning, baby. Enrich the lives of the people you're around while you can. Because those wish lists aren't going to buy things off of themselves. You like that? You like that plug?
Awful.
It's better than like a 5-minute fucking ad read about a razor or, you know, a watch or some stupid shit. Kidding me?
Just do one for Beyblade.
Beyblade, sponsored by Blade. Oh man. Oh my god. That'd be the whole commercial. Look,
Yep.
you see this shit? If I got sponsors, I'd do it exactly like a 90s commercial where I'm shouting at adults going, oh my god, look at this thing. Oh, it's fucking crazy. And zoom in angles. Number 13. Just this past Saturday, I hit the local bar to get some carry out and a growler. I saw a friend outside and chatted for maybe 3 minutes with another guy, took a step, tripped. No, when another guy took a step, tripped, and face planted hard into the concrete. In the blink of an eye, this guy was within minutes of dying. He began convulsing and vomiting uncontrollably, could not speak, and was bleeding profusely from his head, nose, and ears. He hit so hard that his nose was shattered and his skull split open across his forehead. EMTs were stunned and got him out of there as fast as possible. The bartender came out and washed more blood and vomit than I've ever seen from the pavement with buckets of hot bleach water. Probably wasn't even the first time. The scariest part of this was the speed at which it happened. People were standing so close to this guy, but he just went down so fast and hard that there wasn't time to react and catch him. The violence of the impact was shocking. I always tell assholes, you know, you're one good punch away from dead. In that regard, we're all one punch man. It's not about the force. It's not about, you know, even the positioning sometimes. Sometimes it's about where they hit you and where you hit the ground. Or how. Be careful out there. It's really not worth getting into a big dick contest with a drunkard. Number 12. A dead body whose skin was literally moving because of all the maggots under it. Freaky AF. Well, damn. Number 11. I saw a semi-truck start barreling down the grass median on an interstate in Florida, which at first struck me as funny until they started driving into oncoming traffic. We were in a Jeep, so we drove way off the side of the highway in the grass just as the truck hit a Toyota in front of us, then slammed into one of the pilings on an overpass. The truck driver died instantly. I tried to work the other guy free, but was pinned in tight, and he died within a couple of minutes. They probably slept through the whole thing. The Toyota had 4 college students driving home for Thanksgiving. I went to check on them after the trucker died. It looked like the driver swerved away, so the truck hit the side, immediately killing him and the passenger behind him. The other 2 didn't appear to be hurt, but were in shock. My friend and I kept the other 2 talking until the EMTs arrived. Fucked up. Fucked up. It's crazy to think how you can literally be in the car with somebody and then after the impact or a crash, some of y'all dead and some of y'all not.
Look, man, nothing will ever curdle my blood as hard as the video of, like, the Russian couple and the man screaming. You don't see anything, but you hear everything, and it's absolutely terrifying.
Bro, you want to hear some blood-curdling screams? I keep telling you, there's some there's like some really fucked up. I don't think they allow it on the surface internet, but I've seen some shit on the deeper parts of the internet, so to speak.
The deep part.
From 9/11, boy. And it really makes you wonder why some of that stuff isn't allowed, because it's not exactly, you know, so graphic that I don't want to get conspiratorial, but what I'm saying is I think that there's audible things in there that they don't want out.
Well, obviously, either visually or audibly, if something doesn't correlate with
the official story.
We were told.
Yeah, so hey.
But my question is it stuff from the inside or from the outside?
It's inside.
Even worse. All I've ever
But what
thing.
makes the video so graphic is kind of the reactions, you know? And the funny thing is the camera's like so weird. You know, we have trained ourselves now. When you think about 9/11, motherfucker, that's 20 years ago. It's 20 years ago now.
21.
But now we're kind of trained at the very least to not only take out our phones, but bitch, record that shit, you know? If you gave your mother, not your mother specifically, but a lot of mothers back then, people your mother's age, a camera, they would avert their eyes when some crazy shit happens. You know what I mean? Whereas us, we're like, bitch, don't end up on Kill the Cameraman. Put this thing in frame. Get that footage. It'll be one of the few fucking things you do in your life that people will actually want to see and will extend past you. You will be the cameraman here. Not that everybody needs to, you know, get a good look at that stuff. If it's too bad and you need to avert your eyes, do what you need to do. But maybe keep the camera pointed in that direction, eh? Thank you, ZI Hour, for that $2.99. As we continue up this list, though, we arrive at number 10. Wait. The Mentally Well said, I saw a not safe for work video on Reddit where a dude grabbed a fast-moving pipe on an oil barge. The guy immediately disintegrated. We've been watching a lot of people get coiled up into like industrial machinery, and you know, it really just like turns them into jelly. It's fucked up how often that seems to happen in China specifically.
It's a literal meat spin.
I don't know why people aren't more safe. Number 10. Me and my friends were climbing up and jumping off a partially collapsed dam. The side with deep water was probably a 15-foot drop, and you had to climb up the slick concrete to jump off again. The left half of the dam was whole, and you could walk along the top. The right half was collapsed and had about an inch of water in it. The collapsed part was rubble with rebar and all kinds of sharp metal sticking out. I was climbing on the corner, partially over water, partially over the collapsed portion, when I slipped about 1 foot from the top. One of my friends on top grabbed the back of my life jacket at the last second and held me. For a few moments, I was fully suspended over a 60-foot drop with bad shit at the bottom. I managed to get a hold of the dam wall again and climb back up. I owe that guy my life.
You owe him more than just your life. You owe him a blowjob and servitude for the rest of your existence.
Did you just say you owe him a blowjob, dear?
Yeah.
Holy shit, a blowjob? Oh, yeah. And a finish on the titties. Number 9.
Oh my gosh, Linda, no.
Yeah, Linda. I used to work in a factory. I owe Kyle my life. I had a front row seat to women. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Up the elbow? Oh my god. Because people, I hope it wasn't her own error, man. Because the videos we see, it kind of is. Rusty Shackelford, thank you, my man, for that freaking crazy sponsor. This guy's, my gosh, for 26 months. Think about that, Dia. That's over 2 years. We bow to you, Rusty. I work with electrical or electricity. There's a video of a guy that got hit with an arc and was basically disintegrated. Always, if possible, turn off the power. Jesus. Dia and I were watching videos about something called Delta P, where, you know, a crazy amount of pressure is created and it just sucks a person right in. Because there's this popular video of a dude getting sucked into a pipe where he dies. And it's fucked, man. You know, 1 second they're kind of working on the outside of the pipe, but he like hammers down a square of the pipe. And when that, you know, opening is created, the pressure sucks this entire dude into the pipe. He dead. It's really fucked to watch. It's really fucked because 1 second you're doing your job. And I've watched videos on Delta P and they tell your ass to make a grid or a grate. Something that, you know, you can't get sucked into. Hindsight is 20/20 though. Number 9. Cycling home after work in London and seeing some discarded chips and tomato sauce in the gutter. As I rode slowly, I saw a crow pick up a chip and dip it into the sauce, and then gobble the whole thing down repeatedly. I still think about this sometimes, and occasionally, it haunts my dreams. Crows are smart. Everybody knows crows are smart, man. They can use tools, and that's what scarily separates them from the rest of the animals. It's not just good memory. Other animals have good memory. It's not just the ability to problem solve. Other animals can problem solve. It's something about how well the crows can utilize a tool in the completion of a task or the solving of a problem, so to speak. It scares the hell out of you. You wonder if crows were any bigger, if we'd have a problem. You know, how well can crows communicate? We know that they can communicate that a person sucks, and all of them will go, okay, yeah, we'll remember that nigga sucks. That sucks. That they can form an enemy and then socialize about that enemy. Hey guys, always remember that dude sucks. Crow Squad. Number 8. I saw a person fall out of the back of a pickup truck going almost 65 miles per hour. This dude turned into a meat crayon. He hit the ground and rolled. Na, 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 and then stood up. His baseball cap did not fall off. The truck he was on did not stop. I almost ran him over as he fell into my lane. It was clear he was a little in shock, so I walked him over to the side of the road and called 911. He had a mild case of road rash. It was summer, so short sleeves. I can't imagine what happened when people got to their house and someone said, "Where's Bill?" So he survived, and he didn't really get too messed up. Because you know some of the motorcycle riders, when they do what they do, they turn to paste.
Oh, yeah.
Null says, in my Native American tribe, it is believed that crows are the spirits of past loved ones watching over us. How interesting. Can't say I believe that. But I do believe in a lot of other things. I believe in entities surrounding us, whether we can see them or not. And I don't even want to lay an idea of what or who those entities may be. Could be us from the future, could be people from another dimension, could be angels and demons living among us. But I do believe that any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic, and if it is the kind of futuristic asswipes, or even people that just have access to shit that we don't right now, which is a lot of people when you think about it. You know, and the only way that we're going to get access to some of the good shit that they got is if they go, you know, forward in technology. And then they'll just give us the leftovers. I do believe that perhaps there is a way of inhabiting or influencing certain creatures of lesser will. And next to the right person, we all have lesser will. Teehee. Number 7. When I was 9 or 10 years old, I was in Florida. Where's the button? I don't even have that on a... I got all these buttons, and I don't... No, fuck the rock one. This one's like the Vine one. You know?
Check your next page, because I know you have to...
I know it's on there. The Hong Kong is here? Oh, hold on. Okay. Here we go. When I was 9 or 10, I was in Florida. And we went to this arcade/pizza joint. Oh my god. We went to the bathroom and saw on a stall wall a boy's name, and that it said, "He was here." I don't know why, you know, it's saying, oh, Kyle was here, but the way that I'm reading it makes it seem like he's here right now. You know what I mean? Fast forward some time and I'm back in Indiana, Fast forward some time and I'm back in Indiana, sitting in front of the TV as a kid. This time. And watching Unsolved Mysteries. They begin to talk about an abducted boy where the only clue they had was the bathroom stall and his name written in it. It gave me chills, and then nightmares for weeks, where I saw his name carved out in the stall. There's a hole in the wall where the boys can see it all. A story by Squish Puddin. Number 6. When I was 14 years old, I cleaned rooms at this cheap motel that was used mostly for prostitution and partying and doing drugs. A real Weinstein hotel, you know what I mean? I saw many disturbing things, such as a crack pipe left in the bathroom with baby diapers nearby. But the thing that haunts me the most was going into a room to clean, and the person who stayed there had committed suicide by slicing open their neck and bleeding out. I quit that day. What a fucked up job for a 14-year-old. Yeah, sounds like you should be getting hazard pay if you're in the midst of certain shit like this. Crack pipe and baby diaper. You know? I'll let you work here if you promise not to call the police. You can keep any of the weed you find. It's good weed. What do you mean it's good weed, Pops? Where's my paycheck? I'll pay you. But first, give me some of that weed. Number 5. I arrived at an incident. Try again. I arrived at an accident about 13 seconds after it occurred. A friend of mine was driving and rolled the car. She was thrown clear of the car and hit a tree. I found her, did first aid, helped the paramedics lift her onto the stretcher and into the ambulance. Her body stopped functioning about a week later, but it's pretty obvious that she died there. Massive brain trauma, and it took a while for the end. The story here is that she wasn't wearing a seatbelt, and maybe if she was, she'd be alive today. Maybe you should wear your seatbelt. Even though I'm sure as adults we've all had dark thoughts like, if I get into a car accident, I might as well just die right now. But listen, the rest of your life and all that shit, there's other people. It's not just you. It's not just you. Number 4. A car accident between a motorcyclist and a car. The cyclist's head rolled to the sidewalk near me. And then it said, "It's a living." I'm sorry, it was all phrased like a joke. I don't know. So a motorcyclist runs into a car. The cyclist's head rolls to the sidewalk near me. You don't like that it's a living joke? It was great enough for Flintstones and that lazy ass writing. Come on. It's a living. Yo, Seraphim Bear says Jesus was here. Can you imagine that on a stall? And then people are just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it gives some random kid from Indiana nightmares.
Oh, I'm just from Indiana. I'm just a kid from Indiana. I was watching TV as a kid. No.
It's hard enough to come from Indiana.
It's hard enough. Yeah. It's got to be hard. Indiana? Pff, man, you must have had it tough. So we continue to number 3, which has been deleted and I can't retrieve, and I just got to cry about it. Let's see if we can get into the comments and ascertain what might have been, what was posted. The response reads, "Wow, the details that stand out in this situation always surprise me. For this situation, the phone's lighting up." A response to that reads, "This was the same detail that got to me when reading about the 2011 attacks in Norway. The killer killed 77 people, many of them teenagers, at an island camp. He chased them down through the woods, gunning them down, and the police who were on the scene through the night reported being utterly tormented by the dozens of phones going off in the kids' pockets." I've been there. It's chilling. Their parents tried to contact them. All of these phones lighting up with cheery ringtones on all of these dead bodies until the phones ran out of battery. Just horrific. Always wonder how those officers felt hearing cell phones after that. I bet it's an occasion or an association that they can never forget. Fuck my monkey balls, bro. How do you think you feel as a parent knowing that where your kid went was just the stage for a slaughter of a multiple lives just going out, and then them calling and not getting an answer? Ooh. Everything needs to be a comedy skit for you. You should hear the things that I'm crafting in my mind. Linda says, "Kyle, what's it called when you get the urge to open the car door while doing 75 on the highway?" It's just another example of the call of the void, I believe, which may have a different name these days. Call of the void. The call of the void is that feeling when you stand in a high place and think about jumping, but don't actually want to do it. It's a feeling more and more people have that they'd like to admit. Call of the void can't just pertain to jumping from heights. Don't limit the call of the void.
I don't think they're limiting it, they're just using an example.
Yeah, but a lot of these seem to have jump in the description here. We'll come back to it. Number 2 on this list. I saw an old man slip and die at a bus stop in Portland early in the morning when I was a teenager. That was sad. But what really shook me was the way he was picked up by an ambulance. The sidewalk was washed off and they left. Within 15 minutes, people were occupying that space, waiting for the bus, and it was as though it never happened. What do you think life's all about? It's about a show that must go on. Fuck you, bro. Don't take too long. If you're gonna die, make it quick. I've got somewhere to be. Gotta suck my stick. I gotta get what I need done. 'Cause I saw some titties that are just for me, son. Day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, that is where you are, that's today. Fuck you anyway. Number 1 on this list. A job I used to work at, my boss had a heart attack. He had it in his office and died in the middle of his shift. The office lights were motion activated, so we thought he left to go something or do that's what it says, fuck me. He says the office lights were motion activated, so we thought he left to go do something as it was dark. I went into the office to get a new radio, and there he was, leaned back in his chair with his eyes open. Scariest thing I've ever seen. Well, that's the end of this list. Did you enjoy it? Did you want more disturbing and scary person? Oh, this is creepy, man. You know, we've all come across bodies. It's a shame they keep shutting down, the dead people subreddits on this website, because it clearly nourishes a part of people that they don't get nourished, because just like titties in America, they're always trying to cover them up and keep death away from people, which may have a big impact on why some people are so poorly prepared for it. And they don't really know how to deal with it. But, those sites, those subreddits, those, GIFs and threads where people are unfortunately checking out, it gives you a very clean understanding of just how fast a life can depart. And I think the most important thing to me isn't just getting acquainted and understanding that death is a part of life, but more so that the world won't stop, and that in fact a death is really just an opportunity for someone to make an ass of themselves, saying the wrong thing, doing the wrong thing, involving themselves when they didn't need to be involved, making things worse. I like to think of deaths as a long marriage ceremony where for some reason there is a microphone in the middle of the room and everyone feels invited to go up and just say something for no reason. For no reason. And they're so motivated to do so, to go up and take that mic, even when they don't have anything to say. They're so motivated that you would think that they were all paid to do it. Nuts at the end of the day. I love ya, and I would play something, but here's what I'm going to do instead. I am going to throw my Twitch at you, and if I do come back for a late night random stream, it'll be on Twitch. It'll be on Twitch. Do you disagree, Dia? Do you think that there's something I should be jumping on right now?
Not really, no.
Gallivant Gambit Gaming says, I wonder if you get some kind of compensation for finding your boss dead, because Lord knows he stood the chance of not being found till later in the night when the janitor came in to clean. You ain't getting no compensation for finding a dead man in the workplace, but what you are getting is perhaps the easiest access to not just therapy or seeing someone that would then probably allow you to get paid leave. But yeah, you're going to be able to sell how distraught this makes you and how upsetting it is and how much time you're going to need off to really process and bring yourself back to a place where you can do your job to the best of your ability, you know? It's real. It's real to say this because human beings, they're living people, you know, when they're close to us especially, it hurts to see them go, and it's unfortunate, but in a different world, you know, some people are nasty and rude and awful, and do they deserve to die? Hell no. But when they do, it's significantly less hard to give less of a shit because they're not a family member, they're not close to you. So as morbid as this advice may seem, if something like that happens to you in the workplace, well, damn, my man, thank you for the follow, Taki Udi. If something like that does happen to you in the workplace, this is going to sound so fucked up because I'm telling you to act, but ham it up, man. Your work does not have your best interest at heart. No matter where you work, they don't care about you. You are a drone. You are just another person they have in this position. And the worst thing that can happen as far as your employment is concerned is that they have to replace you too fast. You know? So they just want you to keep doing what you're doing. They don't care about you. And if you can fucking get yourself some time off, you know what that is? We call that the dream. You know, think about a job that always gives paid leave. Especially when somebody does something wrong. That's the police. That's the worst the police gonna get, is like a paid suspension. Oh, you son of a bitch. You looking for this slap on the wrist? You were sniffing whose underwear in their house? Oh my God. Paid suspension. So why shouldn't you qualify for that? Guys, I love you, and I'll talk to you soon. I hope to hear from you more in the Discord and and wherever. And I will catch you later. Bye. To anybody who watched this after fact, I hope this list hits the spot. Thank you to the sponsors. Thank you to the patrons. You guys are hardcore. And I'll catch you in the next one. Expect more of these. Really want to get some diverse stuff out this year for anybody who may be looking for something specific. Stay out of trouble. Nothing cool happened while, we were dead to the world, right? Should I even look at the news? What if I look at the news? Didn't missiles get shot at an embassy or something? Video shows Florida police sergeant grabbing fellow officer by her throat? If this is how they treat the lady cops, wait a damn minute now. Do it. What happened?
You mean they have video of Florida police being like this? Florida? Not in my Florida. Florida's a good place.
So, and this is the most fucked up thing I'm going to say, but as a black dude, you got to laugh or you'll cry. If there's a perfectly good black man in the back of this police car, why did he reach for a woman's throat? You know? Was she trying to argue that this man, didn't do anything, or he's already in the car? What do you get? Okay. An officer is seen running towards the sergeant to pull him away from the suspect. Oh, she was getting in the way of him dealing with a black man. That's why. It wasn't enough that the black dude was in the back of the cop car already with the door open. This dude really needed to power trip and feel like a big man. And the woman showed up and was like, "What the fuck?" And he was like, "Let me tell you something, bitch. Don't you fucking come at me. I'm taking care of the stains. I'm gonna remove these stains. You gotta stop saying shit like that. What's wrong with you, man? Jesus Christ. Jesus, keep it at the Klan meeting, bro. Bitch, don't talk to me like that. Where Roland Pin at? You need to get your ass in the kitchen. You need to get your ass in the kitchen, yeah. I'm sorry. You can't be telling people to get their ass in the kitchen. It ain't right. It ain't right. Where's the frame with the throat holding? Look how hard this fucking site is. You ever, like, put your fucking cursor on a timeline trying to slide the thing, and it's like, I don't know what you're talking about. How bad is your video player? Why don't you fucking kill yourself, website? Fuck you. Jesus. Like we care about your stupid ass website. Oh, what is this, Reddit? I was trying to get into the comments. Can you help me out? Is this even the right page? Is this even the right page? Oh, I'm dying. And shouldn't this be on public freakouts? We should go back to public freakouts after this and see what's really going on. Probably not the first woman he has grabbed like that. Ooh, you know it. You know it. Nobody stands in front of me, least of all a woman. I bet he blames her for the troubles he's in. Oh, boy. I bet every one of her fellow officers will blame her too. 5 gets you 10. She gets driven out of the department for not being a team player. Someone else says, and that is the thin blue line, and not the police separating violence and lawlessness from the general population, but the police protecting themselves from any accountability. Yeah, it's getting Reddit as fucking here. He should be charged with battery of a law enforcement officer fired and convicted. Don't you mean paid leave, guys? Quote, I'm very proud of the officer involved in this incident and believe that the actions taken were definitive and demonstrative of good leadership during a tense situation. Good for the female officer for pulling the sergeant away from the suspect and trying to de-escalate the situation. It's absolute bullshit that officers don't immediately get stripped of their protections and arrested when they do this shit. That's the beauty of it, though, bro, is that we can have video and they won't come to any justice. I mean, that's crazy. Is this a downer thing that I'm doing? Yeah. Pubic freak out. Public, bitch.
That'd be a different kind of freak out.
That would be a cool freak. Freak out!
No!
It's lice in the pubes. Freak out! You like that?
No. That's gross.
Oh no, get the shampoo. Lice out! Sorry. Train yard.
Isn't that essentially...
What is a train yard free-for-all? How do they know what's in there? Oh my god, somebody got a TV. Oh no. Damn, Dia, Illinois is like that. Like World War Z. And they just throwing out the TVs. Oh my god. But buy a TV. Guys. I would. If I could 3D print a TV, oh my god. That'd get all the honeys wet, Dia. I'd be like, that's right. I print TVs, Dia. Doesn't it make you hot just thinking about it?
No.
Man. Police sergeant grabs female cop by the throat. We should really just be circulating the shit out of this, man. I don't understand. I love it because he really about to show us the... Yes! What? Damn, police. Damn. You just got grabbed by the throat, bitch.
So what are they gonna do?
They ain't gonna do shit. This nigga's a cop. Worse than that, he's a sergeant. He's a big man. He got a gun in his hand.
Not only is she also an officer,
taking her dirty bitch ass by the throat, and he said, I'm a big man. I'm a white man. I'm a cop, man.
Not only is she also also an officer, but she's a woman.
No. You're looking at it the wrong way. Not only is she a lesser officer, but she's a lesser gender. A womb on. WOMBAN. Womb on. With a hand on her throat. He let that hoe know. I run the show around here, and all of these cameras and body cams rolling, that don't mean nothing. I do what I want to do. I am above the law. You watch movies and TV shows with superheroes, but you don't get to see people get away with real crime, active crime before your eyes on camera, baby. This ain't no he said, she said. You see what I did, and I've done one time. I'm the officer of the law, and my law is my hand on your throat. Get fucked. And you're going to get on fucking camera and say some bullshit like, he's a good officer. You know what's happening. You know what's happening. Embarrass yourself. This is Wombocom. I'm sure he's never done harm to any citizens. A comment dripping with sarcasm, so much so that you know he meant it. Sergeant Police is internal. Is that really? Sergeant Police. Nice. Sergeant Police's internal affair history with Sunrise Police. He had 2 allegations of excessive use of force nearly 20 years ago. He was cleared on both. But it doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter. He took a woman by the throat. He'll do it again. He took a woman by the throat. He'll do it again. Took that woman by the throat. He'll do it. Listen, bitch. Listen, bitch. He took that woman by the throat. He'll do it again. Chris, please. Please, Chris. No. Damn. And this is, I guess everybody lives in a country where it's totally fine, bro. So there it is. There it is. If I say anything, it's like borderline terrorism, you know? So I can't really have thoughts on this. It's fucked up to see, but it only happens because people tolerate it. Man, people really want to burn people's houses down over hearsay, but when they have a video and motherfuckers get to sleep at night, you know what I mean? Safe and sound, no problem. That sucks. You know? That's not somebody's parent. That's not somebody's daughter. That's not somebody's sister, their niece, their cousin. It's like they forget what they're supposed to do as cops. They're not here to flex authority and fucking power trip and feel like a big nigga with a dick that matters. Nah, man. Like, I want you to know, I've seen gamers with more control. I've seen roided out gamers that literally just jump on stream and make a spectacle of themselves, breaking a fucking keyboard every damn week for somebody's entertainment, but they are more in control than this douche, man. What a sobering experience it must be for that woman. But how much will she end up having to tolerate? Oh man, they made my joke. No, this is actually lazier. They're trying to make police sound like police. Can someone call the police on Christopher Police? And somebody else said, oh, police. I like the oh, police one because it works with the word please, not so much. Somebody said, I like how the reporter actually asks if a civilian put their hands on an officer's throat, they would be instantly arrested. Why was this officer that did it not immediately arrested? And the dirtbag chief deflects and says, I can't talk about an active investigation. The police are kind of like developers at Crystal Dynamics, you know what I mean? You tell them about a bug that's still here a year and a half later, and they'll just go, yeah, we're investigating that. Sure. if bugs were dicks and investigations were mouths, then the devs at Crystal Dynamics would be very good investigators, for sure, for sure. He thought he was at home with his wife for a second. Listen, bitch! Whoa. I don't know what to say. Guys, have a great night. Whip them titties out and be happy, okay? Stay out of trouble. Do what you need to do. I feel like I'm doing streams at bad times. I'm going to try to adjust my schedule, get it out earlier, and then hopefully have some fun times with you guys. We'll go through Public Freakout every day because Reddit is nice and normie, so there shouldn't be anything particularly racy that's going to get us all in trouble. You guys deserve it, and I love you. Panic in Times Square after a backfiring motorcycle is mistaken for a gun. How sad is that? How sad is that? Miss Malaysia doesn't stop at racist Instagram posts. What?
It's a little baby trying to pour juice, and it's just awful. It makes you want to cry. Because it's just a mess. But she doesn't know any better.
Cool. Can't watch that on stream though.
What?
Somebody had a knife and then it looks like they got shot. Men harass woman. What an amazing post.
What that mean?
What that mean? Psh, women, what y'all need to fucking do is stop talking to niggas. I know, like, this video stinks, and I'm 2 seconds into this video, but what does it smell like? It smells like this bitch is trying to elicit a reaction out of this dude. Now, Kyle has no context, and I'll be the first to admit that. However, you know, what a woman normally does with somebody that they don't want to talk to is they don't talk to them. Now, men are persistent. They're pieces of shit. What? They a real piece of shit. So...
No, they're persistent.
They persistent pieces of shit. So, they'll come at the lady and be all like, nah, listen, little mama. I know I ain't the goodest and the nicest looking, but I want what you have. And if I look the way that my avatar did on the internet, you'd want some of that? Because I look like a little Korean boy on my avatar now. What do they call them? The YouTubers that are like virtual VTubers? Yeah, my VTuber now. Back into the character. So, you know, I don't disagree that women should pull out their cameras and try to get people to say something stupid on camera so that the women can then say, and now this is evidence that I'm sending to all my friends. You know what I mean? And I was actually streaming this at the same time. But you got to be careful, man. You don't want to do it with somebody who's unhinged, which is probably who most of these people are. They out here bothering women on the side of the street, man.
I'm underage.
No, I said, how y'all doing?
Don't worry.
I'm underage. Ooh. Ew. Back it up. Back it up. You don't need to say all of that. You just need to go, hey, I'm not interested in speaking, and I'm not recording you. And if you continue to speak, it'll be pretty clear harassment. I don't know you. I don't want you. I'm asking you to leave me alone. I'm asking you on camera because the persistence without the camera didn't seem to elicit the preferred response. You know, y'all hoes need to act like your word carries as much weight as it motherfucking does. Because real women don't want equality. They know that they got the power. You know what I mean? Shit. Janitor gets rugged for touching a customer bike. What is getting rugged, man? No. Maybe they mean rugged. And rugged means they're going to be turned into a rug. They're going to, oh my God, nah. He pushed over the man with the bike. But why you bringing your bike into the store? Talk about, I'm gonna park it here. What kind of whack shit is that? Little man, big temper. That one time a tiny 23-year-old man got angry that we didn't let him talk to our 16-year-old sister. He really is tiny.
I applaud you. You won't fucking beat me.
Oh,
Want something cringy that involves
that's
people
so
fighting?
sad. He's so tiny. Can you imagine? Looking pretty good. He's toned at the very least with his big ass head, you know? But imagine just putting your shit out online and, you know, some girls, they'll fuck anything as long as they don't look like monsters. And then they get out there and the guy's shorter than them. Holy fuck-a-doodle.
Hey,
What?
do you want to watch some cringy people at Dairy Queen singing their order?
Nah, nigga, you took it too far. Y'all gotta get a girl like Dia, man. Dia goes way too far with the cringe, where it's like, it's actually not fun to watch. It like takes a part of you. Like, like sometimes I see things that Dia shows me, and it makes me short of breath.
We should put it to a vote to see if anyone else wants to see the video.
Bro, can we please get out of here? It's a big, huge. Wow. What? What you mean?
What is that?
Ain't no way. Mass sexual assault, the fuck that mean? Whoa. Listen.
They said sexual. That just looks like angry people shouting at each other.
Can you get this out of my way? Thank you.
Chris says that he wants to see it.
I don't think they know what this is. Y'all just calling anything now? Y'all calling anything now? Listen, let's get out of here. Seraphim Bear says, Kyle, one of my favorite YouTubers, used to have a VTuber avatar. He was hot. So when do I get a hot VTuber avatar, Dia? Is it hard to set up? How do I do it? Someone teach me how to get a... What happened?
It's not just a setup, it's the expense of getting it all done for you.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
Why don't I get a cutout dude who's all like...
Cutout,
Yeah, who capers and sings, you know? He looks to the left and to the right, and he has like an annoyed face. And then he has like a thinking pose.
Just get Danny DeVito cut out.
Danny DeVito?
Yeah.
That would creep people out.
Or Nick Cage.
I'll see you guys soon. Love ya. Later. No freakouts, but if there are, you should record them. Bye.